Hoi mates! How's it going? In today's video, episode 26 of Beyond the Dark Portal by Aaron Rosenberg and Christie Golden. Main story is pretty much over now, but here's a sad thing that happens to Rexxar. Let's go! A short while before the things that happened in the last chapter, and on the Azeroth side of the Dark Portal.
Push on, Horde Warriors! We are not far!
Over the past several months, both sides had taken control of the Dark Portal a whole bunch of times. But this time was different. Enough was enough. This time, the Horde would take the portal, and then go home. None of the other clans on Draenor had bothered to come to aid them. And also, there was that whole plot point with the bomb that had happened ages ago. They'd been betrayed, and that had very much been on Grom's mind this entire time. It was a big battle, and we're going to gloss over it because that's what I do. The only real significant moments are as follows. Rexxar, the half-orc, half-ogre who is regularly snubbed in these books, was also present for the battle, during which he caught a brief glimpse of the portal itself and noted that it looked a bit weird. And at one point, he witnessed a warlock get stabbed in the chest, which he just kind of grunted at and shook his head. He didn't like warlocks very much, but they obviously noticed his disdain and stumbled towards him.
You, half-breed, you are not true Horde, but you'll do. Come here.
Rexxar stared at the warlock in disbelief. The f did he just say? Insult me and then expect me to help you? Sod off. However, the warlock drew closer still, and Rexxar noticed the green glow around his fingertips. Oh dear. This warlock didn't want his help. He wanted Rexxar's life energy. Rexxar then tried to step back, but he was boxed in. There was nowhere to go. So he growled at the warlock. He wasn't going to go down without a fight. And the warlock simply grinned, did a quick gesture, causing Rexxar to fall to his knees, suddenly gasping in pain.
What? No longer so sure of yourself? Does it hurt? Do not worry, half-breed. Soon the pain will be gone.
The warlock then raised his other hand slowly and started waving it about, and Rexxar felt agony surge through his entire being, followed by the most extreme exhaustion he'd ever felt. However, a snarl cut through the haze of torment, and a blur slammed into the warlock.
Haratha, no!
But unfortunately, he was too late. The warlock's hand had touched Haratha's fur, and Rexxar could only watch in horror as his companion, his friend, shriveled and disintegrated to dust.
That feels better. Your pet just saved your life. Yes, he did. But who will save yours?
With a quick snap of his wrists, Rexxar slammed both axes down and cleaved right through the warlock's neck and chest. And then, still panting with rage, Rexxar knelt down beside the pile of dust that had once been Haratha and placed his hand onto it.
You have been avenged, my friend, though I wish you were still by my side.
The Mucknathal then picked himself up, took a breath, channeled his grief and then called out to Grom.
The portal! Something is wrong!
Grom looked up and waved his axe to acknowledge Rexxar, and then glanced towards the portal himself, just as a handful of orcs started staggering through it. At first, the Warsong chieftain felt hope that the Horde finally sent help after all. But no, these orcs were not in any shape to fight. They were battered and bleeding. They weren't running towards this battle, they were running away from another one. Grom then approached one of the new arrivals.
What is happening? What's going on? Run!
However, the portal then flashed, made a bunch of weird noises, and then vanished, whilst the framework itself collapsed into a pile of rubble. And it was in that moment that both sides decided to stop fighting and run away, with the Horde retreating all the way back to a foothold called Stonard in the Swamp of Sorrows. A short while later, Grom marched up to a wounded orc, sitting huddled by a fire, and clamped his hand down hard on their shoulder.
Now, what in the name of the ancestors happened back there?
Shivering, the wounded orc frantically revealed all he knew, and when he finished, Grom and the rest of the gathered crowd just stood there in shocked silence for several minutes.
So, we prepare then. Prepare? For what, Hellscream? Our whole world is dead. Our people are dead. And we're trapped here forever. Alone. We prepare for vengeance. We're all that's left. If we give up, it means the end of everything we knew. Everything we cared about. If Nazul's plans, Nazul! Think, Grom. This has to be his fault. Who else could have caused the world to shatter so? He betrayed us all. He said he'd save Draenor and instead he destroyed it. We don't know that. We knew he was dealing with extremely powerful magic. Perhaps something went wrong. Or it went perfectly right. For him. Maybe he was just using us. All of us. Our entire world. To further his ambitions. That's what Gul'dan did, isn't it?
Many of the assembled orcs grunted and spat at the sound of that name.
And who trained Gul'dan? Who taught him? And as all, clearly the fruit did not fall far from the vine.
Mutterings around the crowd grew louder and angrier, and Grom knew he needed to nip that in the bud before an angry mob formed.
Do you not see that it doesn't matter? Shall we decide what we do based on rumour and worry? Should we pine for what could have been? Is this how the mighty Horde behaves? We've survived. We're here, on a world full of life and food. We can restore the Horde and sweep across this land once more.
The angry mutterings then turned back to cheers. Everybody loves a good speech.
Yes, the Alliance is hunting us. And yes, we are no match for them today. But one day soon, we will be. We will launch attacks, as we've been doing for the last several months. We'll grow stronger. We'll become predators once more, and the humans will quake with fear. The Horde will rise again, and we will take our vengeance against the humans with a true and final victory.
Nice. The crowd cheered and whooped and danced around and stuff, and Grom nodded, pleased. They were all behind him again, all united, except one.
You've been betrayed repeatedly, each time by another Orc claiming leadership, and still you continue down that same path. You have no reason left to fight. Before we fought to protect our people by claiming this world for them, but they're gone. We no longer need this world. With this handful left, we can find a place the humans have never gone. Claim it without shedding a single drop of blood.
Where's the fun in that, though?
Yeah, what is life without battle? You're a warrior, you understand that. Fighting keeps us strong, keeps us sharp, perhaps. But why fight when there's no need? Why fight just for the sake of it? It's not fighting to save anyone, not fighting for glory or to win anything. It's fighting from sheer bloodlust. And I'm sick of that. I want no part of it.
Coward?
Step forth and say that. Step out of the crowd and call me coward to my face.
Just as suspected, no one moved, and Rexxar sneered and shook his head.
You are the cowards, too afraid to live truly, outside the shadows of lies and promises you've been bought with. You have no courage, no honour, and that is why you cannot be trusted. From now on, only the beasts I will trust.
And with that, Rexxar buggered off, and as Grom watched him depart, he felt a whole bunch of emotions. First, how dare that guy abandon them? But then at the same time, who could blame him? He wasn't even part of the Horde in the normal sense. None of the other Mok'Nathal had joined to fight during the First or Second War, just Rexxar. And what had that gained him? Hardly bloody mentioned at all in any of the books. He'd lost his world, his people, and even that wolf a short while ago. It was no wonder he felt betrayed. No one walks away from the Horde. We should go after him, drag him back by his ears. He insulted us. He should die for his insolence.
Enough. Let him go. He served the Horde well. Let him have his peace.
And what about us? What do we do now?
We know what to do. I literally just told you in that speech a few minutes ago. This world is our home now. Let's live in it fully.